it's a bad look for college basketball. And there's culpability on so many different levels here. Number one, like inside real hoop talk, when you're up 14 or 15 points with 15 seconds left to go in the game, you always expect the team to press. Typically, the opposing coach doesn't call a timeout. If you turn the ball over, you're still going to win by 12 or 10, whatever, right? So already in the heated battle, I can see where, as me as a competitor, I would be annoyed at that, right?
What would you say to the common refrain, which is, well, if Juwan Howard is teaching his kids to keep playing the game through the whistle, through the end of the game, then why shouldn't guard also teach his kids and reinforce the right things in those moments?
That's a brilliant cover. It's a brilliant cover, right? Because you're right. It is. You can teach how to play the game of basketball all the way and down and to the end. That's fine. But we know as basketball players, that's not how the game is treated.
It's plausible deniability,
right?
but it's BS. But
right?
it's BS.
Complete BS.
Right. Okay.
And I get it, but you'll win in the court of law on that. But we know what the streets say about what the real rules of basketball are. That's number one. Number two, and AC, jump in here. Whenever you're passing by, right, I could tell 1,000%. We call it the blow by. Like Seth Greenberg and I always do. You're going to get a blow by, or you're going to get a dead fish handshake, right? That's what Juwan Howard is going to do. Like, all right, I know what the hell you're doing. I got it. But Greg Gard putting his hand on him to stop him, that's a problem. Don't put your hands on me. That's number one. That escalated the whole situation, right? Doesn't warrant what Juwan Howard did, but that escalated the situation. The reality of the matter is when it comes down to it, though, I do believe that Juwan Howard should be suspended the rest of the season, regular season, and postseason. I do not think he should lose his job, but it's going to be really hard, potentially, for him maybe not to because of the history. Because Juwan Howard also had a situation that happened last year with Mark Turgeon, where he had to get separated from Mark Turgeon. It turned into a really big thing. He tried to go after him. Mark Turgeon reported from multiple people. He said, I will blanking kill you. Right? So when that report comes out like that, knowing the history of it, now leading to this situation where he open hand slaps somebody or swings at somebody, which depending upon if that coach, I mean, could there be any legal action there that he could apply for? There could, if he wanted to, maybe assault. I think it turns into this, is this a representation of the University of Michigan and young men? And it puts Ward Manuel in that precarious situation as athletic director now.
And I like what you said, everything there, Jay. And I agree with you. The actions of Juwan Howard were very inexcusable. I thought it was immature, especially being in the role of a leader, right, of a lot of young men who aspire to be great throughout walks of life. Greg Gard, not only did he grab his arm, he stepped in front of him, stopped his path of walking away, because clearly from the video, he was just gonna walk. He was just gonna walk it through and let it be bygones be bygones. Hey, I'm gonna remember it, right? But also, I want to take it a step further too, because I don't want to dismiss everybody who's involved. Krabenhoff, your job as an assistant coach is to come over there and defuse situations, de-escalate situations. He came over there and escalated the situation as well, right? But then I don't think a lot of people seen the little short ball dude tussling with a Michigan player in the background as well. So I think parties on both sides, players and coaches from Michigan and Wisconsin, need to be held accountable. Do I think he should lose his job, Juwan Howard, that is? And I'm going to say hell no, and here's why. We got to stop picking and choosing the standards we want to hold coaches to. And when I say this, I say this, and I'm not talking about a black and white issue. I'm just talking about in general. Holding coaches to standards, because if we're going to say they're role models, you have coaches out here that are getting DUIs that are way more, I think, critical and crucial in the walks of life than what Juwan Howard did.
Wait, in other words, there are people breaking the law outside of the field of play that you think is more important. But there is a distinction between off-the-court behavior and televised on-the-court behavior during a competition.
But see, not in my eyes, not while you're looked at as a leader of men. Because if that happens to one of your players, how can you tell him A, B, C, or D if they're seeing you do it?
You know, by the way, you bring up race hovers over everything. That's undeniable. Yeah. Like the image of the 6 foot, what's Juwan Howard?
6'8", 6'9".
6'8" black dude and the short little white dude, right? Like that, there's no question that hovers over everything. And I imagine that there's the added burden in this situation it's like there's always some kind of form of race representation, right? Yep. You're always like, well, the camera's on you, and that's ridiculous because people can't just live their lives. But I will say that even years ago when Bobby Knight threw that chair, know why we still remember when Bobby Knight threw that chair? Because it's not like once upon a time coaches could just, and nowadays it's when coaches do stuff like that, whatever the immediate consequences, and I don't think he should lose his job either, by the way, you remember it because they're not supposed to do that.
Max, the only thing that kind of works against Juwan Howard is the precedent that he set, though, because after that first, kind of interaction with Mark Turgeon from Maryland, his post presser, he said, I'm from the South Side. So I get where people are from, but now you're at the University of Michigan. So I think that's going to be hard sometimes for some people to factor in because you as the leader of a team, when you say, I'm from the South Side, say, well, you should expect this kind of habit from me because this is where I'm from. Where, no, we expect a different type of leadership from you because you're representing young men from the University of Michigan.
What about that can be used against them? That's where I'm coming from. And I want to make sure I clarify this because I don't want anybody to be misconceived by this. I do not condone the actions of Juwan Howard by any means. But I'm just saying, if we're going to have a standard for coaches,
make it consistent.
The standard needs to be the standard.
Yeah.
And we need to stop compromising the standard when it comes to certain people here and there. The standard needs to be the standard no matter what. And nobody needs to get a pass because, hey, this guy might be liked more by this group of people.
Or this guy may be a bigger winner, but you know how this society is, man. When you win more, you get more excuses,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you got it.
We got to move on. I just wonder, like, hey, I'm from the South Side, but you're in Michigan now. But there is something to be said. I also don't condone it. It's outrageous, and he has to be gone for at least the regular season.
Right.
I don't even know if I'd extend it to the postseason. I would not say lose his job over that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.